Time for today's top business story. John Ehrlichman joins us now from BNN Bloomberg. Good morning.
Good morning, Kelsey.
Okay, so we're talking Trudeau in Paris,
Yes, yeah.
addressing the tech industry here in Canada. And how is that going? What is he saying?
Well, this is a group of leaders, including the Prime Minister, who have gotten together to try to tackle the issue of how do you combat hate online? And beyond that, how do you stop people from spreading hate and committing vicious acts or terrorism? We've all talked about what happened in New Zealand, going live on Facebook, the mosque attacks, and then taking that video and sharing it on other platforms. So the Prime Minister and Canada, just one nation out of a group of 18 that are coordinating with 5 big technology companies to try to tackle this issue. That's really at the center of what this is all about.
So is this all terrorism related, or is this also hate crime related bullying online? We've seen a lot of rhetoric about how to deal with this and questions of how to deal with it. Are they addressing that?
I think that's a great question, Kelsey, because at the end of the day, we're going to have to see, can all these governments from around the world coordinate? We know the internet is global, so it's hard for one government to tackle. So there's a whole host of issues that each government obviously has on their priority list. But then the technology companies, I've covered them for a long time. I used to work in Silicon Valley. Facebook, Amazon, Twitter, Google, they're all at the center of this agreement today, but they are for-profit companies. A quick stat for you, Facebook, Google, and Twitter have basically a market value that's almost collectively the GDP of this country. So you almost have to treat them as governments now. Will they take steps that truly change the nature of their platforms, which up until now has actually allowed for plenty of hate? They see it, and they see how it's impacting their own image. Obviously, the Prime Minister is making this push too, but he's got his own balancing act because he wants these technology companies to create jobs here as well. So it's going to be really interesting. It's nice to see everyone coordinating. And the other thing I'll say real quickly, Kelsey, is that the U.S. is not part of this. And these are all U.S. technology companies. And the reason for that right now is they feel maybe this violates the Constitution. So it's going to be an interesting few months as they try to roll all of this out.
The U.S. feels like restricting the amount of hate that can be spread online is a violation of their Constitution?
We know that for the U.S. government of late, they haven't necessarily been part of these larger global government stories. So.
Well, okay. Well, we'll be watching the tech industry's response to this, obviously, and then what comes their way in terms of any legislation or any movements that pass. So,
absolutely.
John, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Yeah, and you'll be following this on BNN Bloomberg.
We will.